Those issues are coming to a head just outside Chicago, where a once deported man allegedly stabbed a teenage girl before leading police on an extensive manhunt. Nick's back with the latest on this story. I mean, Nick, how does this happen? Authorities say this is just the violent tip of the iceberg in this suspect's criminal past?
Absolutely, because they believe that he could be responsible for more crimes, and this continues to be the center and the focus of an investigation. According to investigators, 26-year-old Dimas Gabriel Yanez had been deported to Honduras back in 2018, but allegedly returned to the United States illegally, and authorities say he is responsible for the violent attack on a teenage girl. The Lake County, Indiana Sheriff's Office says Yanez stabbed 14-year-old girl while she was watching her brother's baseball game. Now, this happened about an hour outside of Chicago in Lowell, Indiana. Deputies say when the girl's mom tried to intervene, Yanez tried to stab her as well. A butcher-style knife was believed to have been used in the attack and was recovered at the scene. And the teen was treated for those injuries to her hand. Now, authorities said Yanez was spotted Sunday and believed he was in the process of cutting his hair in order to change his appearance. He was taken into custody after a chase through a nearby wooded area and a brief pursuit through a cornfield. Now, Markey, investigators say Yanez may have been involved in criminal activity across the country since illegally returning to the United States. Now, deputies say they have contacted the Department of Homeland Security about his arrest, and charges are pending. Markey.
Just a heinous crime. We need a lot more answers there. Nick, thank you so much.
Hey there, Patriots. This is Stuart Low, Patriot, coming at you with another one. The news clip that I just showed you was came out a few days ago, I believe. Let me see. This came out actually 13 hours ago. It was about once again an illegal migrant that was kicked out of the country. What is that? 6 years ago or something like that? 2018. Made his way back into the United States and once again committed a crime against a minor. Okay, against a female, against a child. Okay. Thank God that he was caught, and now it remains, to see what's going to happen, how they're going to treat this this illegal migrant criminal, because obviously kicking him out of the country didn't work, didn't stop him from coming back in and doing something. And I know that some people may want to know all the details. Obviously, a lot of details haven't come out. It's safe to say that maybe not, he knew who the person was. I seen on another news clip that it was just an innocent bystander that he did this to. Supposedly she was there with her mom. And they're saying that the mother and the daughter don't even know this guy. Okay, so why he did what he did remains to be seen. Okay, and it's something that once again the Biden and Harris regime have left the border open for somebody to come back in and commit a crime. Okay. Now, if you look at my thumbnail, okay, and the title, I have put down about, in case nobody has heard, or maybe you have heard, but supposedly there was a big rumor going around that supposedly the Hells Angels, okay, and not only the Hells Angels, two other motorcycle clubs were supposed to band together and go to Colorado and take care of the Venezuelan gangs that are out there, okay? Particularly the ones that took over some housing, some buildings, I should say, okay? And have made it impossible for the landlord or the housing association to get involved, and basically they're like extorting them, threatening people, breaking into apartments, kicking people out. And it's something that's been going on in the news very heavy for like the past week and a half. Okay, I haven't really touched on it because there's so many different moving parts to this, so I've been keeping quiet. But now I think that it's time that I put my thoughts into all this. okay? Because there's a lot more news footage that I need to show you guys of things that are going on, and how people in, I should say, officials in these blue states, how once again they can basically flip-flop and change the narrative on the media to downplay, okay, what's going on, or to exacerbate, okay, a rumor, a story, okay, when it's not even true, okay. But coming from the left and the powers that be, it should be no surprise to anybody that that's their MO. That's how they do things, okay. But before I continue, I just want to thank all my new subscribers and all my subscribers here on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. If you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. And also, I'm leaving a link, two links, once again, for my friend Josie's Gifts and Go campaign and Loza Alexander's GoFundMe campaign. So if there's any way you guys can help them, and if not, if you can leave them words of encouragement, some prayer, it's all greatly appreciated. Okay, and I know I've been saying it every day for a while, and I say it because, you know what, I think that, and you'll see how I'm trying to tie all this in together. I think that, at number one, as human beings, number two, as Americans, okay, that we need to help each other, and I know that a lot of us are doing different parts in our lives to help out other people. Okay, I'm pretty sure everyone watching my video, in some way, shape, or form, is doing something in life to help others out. Okay, and that's the way it should be, because the powers that be do not care, okay, about human life, especially with the way things are going on now. And not now, it's been going on for a very long time, but now it's even more in our faces, that the Democrats don't give a flying rat's ass about anyone or what's going on. That's just the bottom line. Okay, that's just the bottom line. But what I want to get into also is the rumor of that supposedly, I don't know how it started or who was the first one to put it out. Now there's rumors coming out now that the rumor of the Hells Angels getting up and going out to Colorado to handle business has been growing. Now they're saying that it's all a rumor, that it was supposedly some girl on TikTok that started it. But it's funny because as of this morning, there's still information coming out, especially on YouTube, where people are putting out videos, short videos and stuff, like on TikTok and on YouTube, saying that they've seen 1,000 Hells Angels on motorcycles making their way to Colorado. Some people saying I seen 2,000 or 3,000 going through my town, in whatever state. One person said that supposedly they're 1 million strong, on their motorcycles headed out to Colorado. And before, like I say, these are the rumors that are coming out, and these are things that are going on. So before I get into that, I'm going to show you guys some more clips of how, if you look at my title, okay, where it says the Hells Angels are not going to Colorado and the Democrats are not going to help either, okay, basically that's what I'm trying to say in my title. It's because of the way the media and the mayors, two mayors in particular of Colorado, are putting out their 2 cents with, police officials trying to downplay the criminal activity in Colorado caused by Venezuelan illegal migrants. Okay, but then to have one of the mayors flip-flop, okay, and then basically contradict himself of what's going on. But at the same time, the media is also taking part in bringing up that the Hells Angels are going out to Colorado. Okay. and what a lot of people don't understand, and I'm pretty sure a lot of yous that are on my channel have probably been around motorcycle clubs, maybe even born and raised around, born into and raised around motorcycle clubs, like I have. Have a lot of family, friends. I'm pretty sure a lot of yous are probably thinking, and hopefully thinking the way I am, which is there is no way, okay, that this is true. Okay, not that motorcycle clubs won't go out there and help people, but in this situation, I'm taking it all with a grain of salt. Okay, not trying to disrespect any MC clubs out there, not trying to disrespect the people out there that need help in Colorado. It's just that if you don't know the dynamics of the MC world, this is not the kind of rumor you want to be a part of. This is not the kind of, hearsay you want to be a part of. Okay, because it just, as soon as I heard it days ago, I haven't made any content. I've been, maybe throwing a few words here and there, just my thoughts on it. But enough is enough. This is not how things are done. Okay, it's just not. But I'll get into that in a little bit. The next video clip that I'm gonna show you, okay, was put out, and once again they're showing how that now supposedly Border Patrol is helping illegal migrants come in, which I find to be very ironic, because it's funny that when it's somebody on the right reporting and talking to Border Patrol, all they're talking about is that we need help. We need help. We're trying to stop all this. But then on the left side of everything, they're making it seem as if, no, they're doing their job and they're helping people in. I mean, it's just so damn confusing that, it's true. You can't listen to what the mainstream media is saying, especially when it's coming from leftist mainstream media outlets. Okay, you just can't. But without further ado, let's get into more of this that I'm talking about. Here we go.
Obviously, you heard the story before us. Investigators say the suspect was deported to Honduras back in 2018, but at some point he returned illegally. Officials saying he may have been involved in other crimes here in the U.S. The Department of Homeland Security has been alerted of his arrest. But the bottom line here is that a young girl was stabbed. And the suspect could have been involved in other crimes. Your response, and who failed here?
Well, obviously, Kamala Harris failed. She is the border czar. She can deny it. The Democrats can deny it. The word came out on high to do that. And, of course, the legacy media, as lapdogs that they are, jumped right on it. This is clearly a failure on her part. And, in Knoxville, Tennessee, my hometown, some guy got attacked this weekend by an illegal with a pickaxe. The guy miraculously survived. I don't know if he's still alive or not. But you just duplicate this all across small town America, and surely this would have some impact at the polls, except for the fact the legacy media fails to report a lot of these. And then when they do, they'll show the poor victim, as they've done all across the country, but rarely will they show the perpetrator, as you all have done honorably. So it's pretty clear what's going on. I hope that the media eventually, that $12 that they got for journalism, that they paid for journalism school, maybe they ought to think about getting their money back, because they are not being journalists. They're being propagandists.
We'll keep a spotlight on it
Pretty
here
much.
at News Nation. We can guarantee that. Let's look forward, though. I mean, come January, we'll have a new president, neither of who will be able to fix the problem on day one in office. What can realistically be done immediately to start cleaning up this mess? What would you do if you were president, sir?
I would enforce the laws. That's the problem. I've talked to border folks down on the border patrols, and they are very patriotic men and women, and they are demoralized beyond belief. Dadgummit, they're paid to do a job, and really all they're doing is an escort service, not like prostitution, but they're just escorting these people across the border, and enforce the laws. 300,000 children are lost somewhere in the system. I'd bust somebody's tail over that stuff. And yet, here we are again. You all are the only ones reporting it, and it's just continues to, from fentanyl to the hundreds of millions of dollars a year that we're we're supposed to, taxpayers are supposed to pay for it. I saw where the Pope has said where that it's it's a moral thing that America has to take care of these patients. Dadgummit, the Catholic Church, maybe if we started paying religious groups started paying taxes on their incredible holdings, we could afford to take care of some of these people.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there because there's a lot to unpack on this right here from what he said, which is everything that he said is true. Okay, she asked the question, when the new president comes in, how is it taken care of? But I'll tell you one thing right now. The answer to that, in my opinion, if the new president is going to be Harris, you might as well kiss this country goodbye when it comes to the border. That's just the bottom line, okay? If Donald Trump comes in, Donald Trump promised that he's going to shut the border down on day one, and he is going to implement the biggest mass deportation this country has ever seen. The problem with that is that he is going to be attacked and fought against every which way you can think of, okay, from the left. Every which way, okay? The Republicans will have to win the presidency, the Senate, the House, everything. They're going to have to win everything, okay? They're going to have to win it all in order to say, you know what? We have the presidency. We have the power of the purse. Basically, you guys sit back, take notes. This is how the grown-ups are going to do it. Okay? That's just the bottom line. That's the way it's got to be done. Okay? Now, I did hear, okay, about what the Pope said. I looked at the video. I don't speak Italian. It's all closed caption for me to read it, in English. And supposedly that's what the Pope said. Now here's the thing with that, and this is why I get very upset with all these NGOs, and not so much the NGOs, because when I think of an NGO, I think of a corrupt group. I think of a corrupt extension of a bigger corrupt organization. Okay? That's the way I see it. One of the problems I have, a big problem with, is the religious groups that are involved. And this includes the Pope himself. And I don't care who I offend, because you have to look at it. Everybody's always talking about where's the humanity? Where's the humanity? Okay? My question is the same. Where is the humanity? Where is the humanity for all the victims, okay, that are being terrorized, okay, by a lot of these illegal immigrants that are coming in that are criminals? Okay? They're committing acts of crime against their own and American citizens. Where's the humanity for the victims? So for the Pope to come out and say that we have to let them in, okay, I'm gonna quote what I heard one content creator say, and a comment that I seen on another channel, and that quote is, okay, why doesn't Vatican City open up their doors, okay, and let in illegal immigrants? Why is it that Vatican City is basically a country within a country, and they police themselves, they literally government themselves? Why don't they do that? He came out and said about all the real estate, and I'm sorry if I'm talking loud, there's a rainstorm coming in, so I have to talk over that. The Vatican owns a ton of real estate worldwide. Okay? Their fortune is, you can't even think about their fortune. I don't even think you could put a number on their fortune, their monetary fortune. Where are they opening up and helping other countries to better their population, to better their living standards? I have nothing against the church. I'm a Christian. What I'm saying is that it's funny how the Pope can say that, but yet, does he really care about humanity? Because if he's ignoring the fact that a lot of illegals are being let out of prisons, okay, and are being sent to other countries, and they're committing heinous crimes, you, and I don't care if you're the Pope or whoever it is, you don't have that right to put someone else in harm's way. Okay? It's mind-boggling how so many people in power with money have something to say, but they have no solutions. Their solution is open up your arms wider. Open up your doors wider. And where is it getting people in society? It's making victims out of innocent people. Okay? I'm not going to hold my tongue when it comes to talking about government officials and the Vatican, what have you, when they don't have, in my opinion, and I felt this way for a very long time about the Catholic Church, the Vatican. And I've said it before in other videos about how I was told by priests about the dark sector in the Vatican. Okay? It's like you don't have a say-so when you don't know what it is to be poor. You don't know what it is to work. Okay? You don't know what it is to walk outside freely. Okay? And truly mingle with people to understand other people's plight, okay, and problems. You're up in your ivory towers, you're all protected, whether you're a politician, whether you're in Vatican City, no matter what it is, you people are so protected, but yet you want to put other people in harm's way. Okay? And you heard what this man said. This problem falls on Kamala Harris's hands. I've been saying it, tens of millions of other people have been saying it. But yet you still have people on the left, and you still have a lot of people across social media and mainstream media trying to blame all this and trying to blame the problems of the world on Donald Trump. Okay? And then when he comes out and says, well, I'm going to shut the border down and deport people, they still get on his ass, okay, saying that he's racist if that's what he's going to do. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it the three ways. You can't let people in, criminals in. You can't let them cause crime against other innocent people. And you can't not complain about somebody wanting to fix the problem by kicking them all back out. You can't have it that all them ways. You just can't. Okay? You can't. It's, and I say it a lot, I'm always going to say it, because it's true. It is just beyond me, the mental gymnastics that these people try to pull and throw on everybody else, as if everybody is so damn stupid. Okay? They lie, and then they'll lie to cover up that lie, and they'll lie to cover up that lie, and it just goes on and on and on. When does it end? You know? And again, before I get into it, I'll just mention it again. Then we got rumors that somebody's supposed to come from the outside, okay, like knights on shining armors, and no disrespect, like I said, to any MC clubs, but why was that rumor even spread? Why will people think that they need an outside organization to help them when that organization, in all honesty, really wants to take care of their own community? And that's the way other communities need to do it the same way. Okay? Last I checked, okay, the people in Colorado, the people in Chicago, the people in California, the people in New York, they voted, or I should say a large majority voted for these politicians that are messing things up. They didn't vote for MC clubs to come and take care of their problems. Okay? I will say this though, if they did, they wouldn't have any damn problems. Because MC clubs will not let all this shit that's happening, they will not let it fly. Trust me when I tell you. Okay? Just a little fun fact. Being born and raised in the Bronx, okay? I don't know if it still exists, okay? But one of the safest neighborhoods, one of the safest blocks, I should say, in New York City, I don't know if it's still the same, it probably is, but when I was growing up as a kid, they would say the safest street to live on in New York City was down in Manhattan, where the Hells Angels had their club. They said that was the safest street to live on. It wasn't because the cops were patrolling it. It wasn't because the politicians were working there and doing stuff. No, it was because they took care of their own community. Okay? And this is where the communities around the United States, okay, that are being held hostage by the governors and the mayors and the politicians to let this kind of crime happen, they need to gather, they need to get together and put their differences to the side. They need to band together and take care and clean up their neighborhoods. It's not unheard of, okay, and it's not a crazy thought. But when you have all these politicians, okay, like I said, playing mental gymnastics with everybody, everybody's right, everybody's wrong, everybody's right, everybody's wrong. Open your eyes and think about it. They're causing the chaos that's letting all this stuff happen with these illegal migrants and gang members coming in. But let's continue to the next video. Here we go. Now this news coverage came out 5 days ago, okay? And these two gentlemen on the side, these are two mayors to Colorado. I believe he's the mayor of Aurora and he's the mayor of, who knows? I gotta listen to it with you guys again, okay? But I want you guys to pay attention to the way this guy opens up the segment, okay? And this right here already tells you that the narrative is not about taking care of the gang problem in Colorado. The narrative is pointing the finger, okay, to people that are not even in charge of what's going on and trying to spread disinformation when all you hear on the news, all you see on social media is different people with their cell phones taking actual video footage and putting it out. These are people on the ground. These are civilians putting out this information. But right away, the powers that be will have a show like him start off this segment in a certain way that you have to look at it right off the bat and be like, you know what, here we go. You don't want to take responsibility. You want to point the finger to people that have nothing to do with what's going on. Instead of addressing the problem, you just want to point the finger. Now, this is the deal. If you want to point the finger, then fine, point the finger. But then why don't you come out on the other side as the knights in shining armor and try to fix the problem? But you won't even do that. Okay? Pay attention to the way he starts us off. Here we go.
Our next conversation today is with Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman and Denver Mayor Mike Johnston. Thank you both for being here. Welcome back to Next.
Thanks for having us.
So, for weeks, you have both acknowledged that the Venezuelan gang Tren de Agua is operating in your cities and that both of your police forces are trying to figure out how widespread their activity is and to make arrests. In the last 24 hours, this situation has received a lot of national media attention, primarily driven by Fox News and conservative media. So,
did you hear what he said? Did you hear the way he started the freaking conversation? Right away, pointing the finger. That this is something in the past, this was 5 days ago, in the past 24 hours, that this is something being spread by Fox News and conservative media. Listen to it again.
In the last 24 hours, this situation has received a lot of national media attention, primarily driven by Fox News and conservative media. So,
you see? Right away, he's starting the narrative, trying to point the finger to somebody else, okay, on the right, as if that's supposed to erase all the damn crime that's going on. As if that's supposed to erase all the crime just in New York City alone with the Venezuelan gangs that have been going after people, going after cops, I mean, doing their dirt, okay, which has been going on for months, okay, which the NYPD came out and said that this has been a problem in New York since 2021, okay? And he's going to say that in the past 24 hours, this coverage has been being pushed out a lot by Fox News and conservative media. You look at these people, and it takes everything inside of you okay, for them not to get that anger out of you that's deep inside of you, because it's just something that can piss off. I mean, if Gandhi was alive, he'd be so damn pissed off right now. Okay? With the way these shills continue putting out this false narrative, this propaganda, okay? As if everybody around, as if all the victims, as if their families who are still mourning to this day, the victims of girls that have been raped and murdered, whatever the case is, as if they're not still mourning, they're making it seem as if, you know what, just by him saying that, that's going to erase all this because it's just something that's being pushed out by Fox News and conservative media. I like to know how much conservative media he's talking about, being that all the mainstream media is controlled by the left. Okay? But this is coming from somebody on the left. All right? Told what to say, how to push. What makes matters worse, okay, is listening to both these mayors. Now, mind you, like I said, this came out 5 days ago. Okay? I want you to listen to the way they talk, how they spoke 5 days ago, and how they're speaking today. Pay attention.
Given the now national interest in the situation that involves both of your cities, one that we've discussed now here locally for weeks, what is your primary message to the community? Mayor Kaufman?
Well, the city of Aurora is the 51st largest city in America. We are a population of over 400,000, and this is isolated to several apartment complexes. And we are working jointly in terms of law enforcement, Denver, Aurora, state, federal partners in terms of addressing this. It's whether it's Tren de Agua or whether it's other criminal elements that are doing this is irrelevant. The fact is that we are working to get this under control.
That work has gone on.
Okay, now you heard what he said. Whether it's Tren de Agua or whatever, that's irrelevant. Remember those words. That's irrelevant. He's saying they're trying to control crime. But those two, that one group in particular, that's irrelevant. Let's continue.
For weeks. In the last 24 hours, what has changed for people in the city of Aurora, in your government?
Really nothing. I mean, we have ongoing operations that are continuing to address this. We made some significant arrests in this, and we will continue to do so until the problem's eliminated.
What are you hearing?
Okay. Now, I'm just going to leave it at that with him. I'm not going to let the other guy speak because the other guy is basically a lefty. He denies everything, and not even on this video clip, on other video clips. I mean, the mayor of Denver, I mean, is just like, you already know where he's going to go, where he stands, I should say. Okay, he stands with the left, he stands with the agenda, and that's just the bottom line. But I'm going to show you the next clip. Now, like I said before, this came out 5 days ago. You heard what he said about Tren de Agua, that they're irrelevant, okay? Them being part of the crime spree, that's irrelevant. Okay, his words. Pay attention to the next clip, what I'm going to show you. Here we go.
That story that's grabbing the entire nation's attention. Fox 31, the first to obtain these videos of alleged gang activity at Aurora apartment complex.
Oh, I'm sorry, folks. This news clip came out 4 days ago, okay?
Mayor Mike Kaufman telling Fox News gangs have pushed out property management through intimidation and are collecting rent.
Police in Denver also on high alert. We spoke to Mayor Mike Johnson about how the Mile High City is tackling these issues. Fox 31's Aaliyah Sims getting some answers for us tonight. Aaliyah.
Yeah, Erica, Mayor Mike Johnston said Denver police have already been working with federal, state, as well as other local agencies because they were made aware of the problem early on. Now, he says while there's no evidence of Denver apartments being taken over by Venezuelan gangs, he says they are providing a heavier police presence in areas that are a risk.
Yeah, so and it's infuriating. It should never happen in this state. It should never happen in Denver.
That's Mayor Mike Johnston's reaction to the many videos that continue to make headlines about Venezuelan gang violence in the Denver metro area.
Obviously, that video was not taking place in Denver, and we are going to do everything we can to make sure it doesn't ever.
In a state.
Now, that was the gentleman the Denver mayor sitting next to the mayor of Aurora, okay? And like I said, you already know where he stands. I mean, he's already downplaying it. Okay? Now, is it true that nobody really knows exactly the video clips of those guys inside the building breaking open the doors? If that's actually Denver or Aurora, I'll give them that much. Okay? But those have been the main clips for the past few weeks that people have been talking about, and supposedly that was video footage taken from citizens, not from somebody that tried to put something together. That was put out by citizens. Okay? They claim that they have been victimized by these gang members. Okay, in Colorado. Well, let's continue.
Denver police appear to indicate the same, saying they take the presence of the TDA gang seriously. While DPD says they believe there are reasons members of the gang are tied to crimes in the area, the department says they are not aware of any apartments being taken over by the group within the metro area.
We're not.
Okay, now you heard them. They're unaware of any groups taking over. Okay? You heard it. They're not aware of any groups taking over any apartments in the area. Okay, here we go.
Tolerating that in Denver. We don't see any evidence of that in Denver.
I find it very hard to believe that has not gone into the city limits of Denver. Maybe they don't have enough intel yet to specifically say that they can tie that to the TDA gang.
James Albee, law enforcement procedural expert, says he believes city leaders are downplaying the seriousness of the problem.
I think they're trying to mitigate some of the fear and concerns that the community may end up having over this gang that I think is growing more and more every day.
He says the problem has already been identified, specifically in Aurora, and there should be more focus on how to address it.
There is a growing criminal element in Aurora that they can't deny. And I think, again, that's why they've got that task force involved in this, to try to gather intel and to kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together to figure out exactly what they're doing and try to get ahead of it.
Okay, now you heard that. You heard the Metro Police Chief come out and say, nope, that's not exactly what's going on. There is a bad criminal element going on. And like he says, he feels that that the public officials are trying to downplay it, and that's what the leftists do. They always try to downplay stuff, regardless of who gets hurt, regardless of who gets victimized, regardless of who gets raped or murdered, whatever the case is. They always try to downplay it. Okay, they always try to downplay it. That's why I said that the powers that be and the people on the left that are in control right now do not care about human life at all. But now, like I said, the first video was 5 days ago. This video was 4 days ago. Let's continue so you guys can see how exactly, I shouldn't say how exactly. So I think you can see why I say that, you know what? And I've always said it and I'll keep saying it. The Democrats, they contradict and they eat themselves. And I've been saying it since I started my channel. But let's continue. Okay, now this video clip, okay, this news clip came out 2 days ago.
City of Aurora is contradicting itself on the extent of Venezuelan gang activity in that city. The mayor told Fox News this week the gang is collecting rent at a troubled apartment complex.
Oh, wait, what did she just say? Hold on 1 second. 5 days ago, he was saying that they were what? What was the word? Insignificant or something like that? Okay? Saying that they know there's a gang activity, a criminal element going on, but, you know, all those claims of them collecting rent or whatever the case is, or being like the whole problem is insignificant. And you heard the guy start the opening of the conversation that in the last 24 hours that this is like fear being put out by Fox and conservative news outlets, because I know that's what I heard. Okay, but here we are. That was 5 days ago. Then you've seen a clip 4 days ago. Now this is a clip 2 days ago, and I'm just going to play it again so you guys can hear it one more time. Here we go.
The city of Aurora is contradicting itself on the extent of Venezuelan gang activity in that city. The mayor told Fox News this week the gang is collecting rent at a troubled apartment complex. The interim police chief, in a video press release, says that's not happening.
So you have the mayor saying it now, that in fact, okay, the Venezuelan gang is collecting rent, which means that they're terrorizing people. In the last video clip, you had the Metro Police Chief come out and say that that public officials are downplaying it, but now you have an interim police chief saying that that's not true. So what the hell is going on here? Think about that, people.
It's that intimidation factor. We've got Venezuelan gang members who have gone into an apartment complex where there's a concentration of Venezuelans and pushed out the property management through intimidation, and now they're intimidating the tenants there to pay them the rent and probably extort other things from them.
I'm not saying that there's not.
Okay, you heard that, right? You heard what he said. They're terrorizing the tenants, especially in their own communities. They're pushing out management. They're terrorizing management. But meanwhile, Colorado was saying, public officials were saying a week and a half ago, that this wasn't a problem, that those buildings were slums because the management companies, okay, let the buildings just basically turn to crap. While people on the ground were saying that's not the case. Okay? They're in contact with management. They've been saying that management has been threatened by these gangs not to show their face, not to get involved. They're taking over the buildings. The mayor just said that gang is insignificant. Now he's saying, what? Oh yeah, they are collecting rent. They are pushing out management. You can't make this stuff up, people. His voice, his words, that's the way it is. Let's continue.
I'm not saying that there's not gang members that don't live in this community, but what we're learning out here is that gang members have not taken over this complex. We've really made an effort the last few days to just really ask the specific questions or the direct questions in terms of the gang activity and who's actually making sure that people aren't paying rent to gang leaders or gang members, that's not happening. And we've discovered here today and yesterday talking to so many residents that that's not the case.
So we don't.
You know what? It baffles my mind. What people like her don't understand, okay, is that when you have people in other countries that are being terrorized by gangs, and they flee their countries, okay, and they go to another country, they come to America, whatever the case is. And in the process, those gangs are following the same way they shut up those people in their country is the same way they're shutting up the people in any other country that they go to, including the United States. So she's going to go and listen to people and come out and say, well, no, they're not saying that. They're saying everything's fine. Everything's hunky-dory. Nothing but rainbows and damn unicorns. Like you really think that they're going to tell you the truth. And instead of you doing your due diligence and using your police gut instincts the way a good cop would and say, you know what, hold on one second, this just doesn't smell right, okay? No, they're just gonna walk in, flip open their little notepad. Is anybody terrorizing you? No. Okay, he says no, she says no, we're good, put out a press release, never mind what the mayor just said. That's basically what's happening. So it makes you wonder, okay? It'll make anybody wonder. What the hell is going on? Why are they letting this happen? Okay? I'll tell you why. Because it's part of the Biden-Harris regime. It's part of their plan. This is what they want. They don't care about human beings. But let's continue.
Generally air video news releases from police departments and cities for ethical reasons. We weren't there to shoot that video ourselves.
I'm sorry, let me go back a little bit.
So we don't generally air video news releases from police departments and cities for ethical reasons. We weren't there to shoot that video ourselves or ask Chief Morris any questions. But her comments in that video directly contradict what Mayor Kaufman said and add further confusion in a week when the city's public statements on Venezuelan gang activity hasn't always lined up. Mayor Kaufman has said contradictory things in interviews just hours apart. The city's trying to get a court order to clear out 2 or 3 apartment buildings to combat gang activity. They're planning to declare the properties a, quote, criminal nuisance.
And there you have it with that. Okay? So now the city's saying they're trying to clear out the buildings because of the gang activity. Like she just said, they're claiming it to be a criminal nuisance. Okay? You got the mayor of Denver sticking to his gun, saying that no, there's not a problem, we got this under control. You got the mayor of Aurora contradicting his own statements, okay, which is a kick in the face to the people that are being terrorized. And then with all that going on, you have people on social media saying that all of a sudden that the Hells Angels and the Mongols and the Outlaws have banded together, which, if you know anything about the MC world, that is definitely not going to happen. Okay? Saying that they're going to go and they're going to go clean up this mess. Clean up whose mess? Whose mess? I'm going to speak more on that, but I'm going to show you this last news clip. Here we go. Okay, now this news clip came out of Fox Denver 9 hours ago. Okay?
Happening today, people who live inside these troubled Aurora apartments are going to speak out. In a statement they sent last night, they say the narrative, as they called it, that gangs are taking over their apartment complex are false.
Yeah, so this comes after videos showed armed men walking through one of the complexes. You probably saw it online. Well, now Aurora police are trying to dispel another rumor. Fox 31's Courtney Fromm, she's on it live this morning. So yeah, Courtney, with all of this, there's a lot of information, a lot of rumors kind of swirling around. So it's kind of hard to decipher what's true and what's not.
Yes, good morning to you both. There's just a lot of layers to this entire situation that's been going on. A lot of people pointing the finger in different directions on what exactly is happening. But we do know, I'm going to talk about that meeting that's happening later today with those neighbors first. They say they were moved out of the apartment complex, the management company says, because of the crime due to those Venezuelan gangs. But the city actually says they closed those apartment complexes because of code violations, and that's what the neighbors say they want to bring up. They say it's because of all the issues the management company did not take care of when it comes to code violations specifically, not the gang violence that the management company has said. So that's the first part of it. Now the second part of it is these new rumors that have been swirling around on social media about the potential of Hells Angels motorcycle club coming to Colorado to kind of push back against the Venezuelan gang situation that they say has been happening and has been going on. Now we understand members of Hells Angels, they have been involved in previous deadly shootings in Colorado in the past, and some of that social media posts say they're responding to claims of those apartment complexes that are being taken over by Venezuelan gangs. But Aurora Police Department, their interim chief Heather Morris, saying in part, quote, "Our intelligence unit has been looking into social media posts from this weekend, and we do not believe these posts are credible. We are continuing to monitor the situation." So yeah, a lot of different layers to this story. But again, that meeting, to circle back with those neighbors, it is today at 4 o'clock, and I imagine we'll have a crew there. And of course, we'll keep you updated when more information on that becomes available. But for now...
Okay, so there you go. Okay. Now, I'll agree that, you know what, the whole thing, whoever started the rumor that the Hells Angels and the other two MC clubs were going to band together and go take care of this problem, like I said, I've been quiet about it, but it's because there is no way that's going to happen. Okay? There's no way. If anybody in those clubs, if they have a family member that has a problem, they will deal with that shit themselves. There is no doubt about that. They will deal with it themselves. Okay? But for them to go and band together and say that they're going to go handle it, they don't want to be in the spotlight, especially in a situation like this. Okay? Their allegiance is to their club. That's their community. That is their home. That is their church. That is their family. That is their world. Okay? So people need to stop spreading that rumor, get it out of your head, and let me tell you something. If it does end up being true, I tell you what, more power to them and more power to the community, and I tell you what, whoever it is that they're going after, they need to just pack their bags and like just split. Okay? Because you don't want to go up against something like that. You don't. But I've been around MC clubs my whole life, and I can honestly say, okay, from what I know, there is no way okay, that those 3 clubs will band together to do this. There's no way. And not only is there no way, just for HA alone to come out and say, or even for it to be a rumor, as if they need help from any other club to go handle what? These guys? I don't think so. They can send 10, 15, 20 of their most hardcore members, okay, to go and take care of this like there's no tomorrow. They don't need to roll up 1,000 deep. They don't need to roll up 3 clubs deep. Okay? They just don't. And the reason why I get upset is because of this. Not because of so much of the rumor, because of that. It's just that when people are desperate, rumors like this will happen. And the reason why these people are desperate is because out of all the video I just showed you, look at the flip-flop of the political officials that should be taking care of the citizens, their constituents, their taxpayers. They start off a segment pointing the finger to people on the right, then they go and they contradict themselves, okay? Then the truth comes out, and then they're going back to trying to point the finger to management, saying that they're slumlords, and it's this case, and now they're going to have a meeting because now tenants are speaking out saying that no, none of that is true. Come on, man. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. Obviously, the rumor with the MC clubs going to go save the day, that's obviously a rumor. And like I said, listen, if it's true, more power to them. Okay? In my opinion, that'd be a good thing for the community. But it's up to the community to take care of their own. It's up to the community to say, you know what, listen, if all this is true, you people need to band together. But it seems the way these stories now are flip-flopping, people are saying yes and then all of a sudden saying no. It seems like, yes, there is something going on inside of that community. There's a lot of contradiction going on, okay? There's obviously people are admitting to gang violence and criminal activity going on. So who wants to make a bet that people are being silenced? And you know who's caught in the middle? In between the crooked politicians and the gang members? The innocent people. Because first they're saying they're being terrorized, now they're saying, oh no, that's not the case, we're going to go have a town hall meeting about it. But the gang members are still there. The politicians are still flip-flopping. Okay? And the truth is that HA and the Mongols and the Outlaws, they're not coming. That's probably the only truth right now that people could depend on. They're not coming. It's not their fight. Not saying that they don't have a heart. It's just that why in the world, if there is a criminal investigation going on, if this is criminal activity going on, why in the world would they want to get involved when the politicians are so damn crooked that they'll easily turn around and try to lock up every MC member, okay, on RICO charges or whatever the case is, and totally ignore the criminal element they let in across the border. And you know that's exactly what will happen. Without a doubt, that's exactly how they'll try to spin it. And then try to make it seem, okay, that it was because of the MC clubs that the criminal element is in the neighborhoods, terrorizing the people. So my advice is to the people, and I understand that, you know, people are scared. These are some vicious people. I get it. Don't get me wrong, I get it. We've been through this back home in New York. When the whole crack epidemic broke out, I mean, it was a wasteland in many, many neighborhoods in the Bronx. Okay? I mean, it was just, I mean, there was murders. I mean, it was horrible. People being thrown off of roofs, people being murdered. I mean, it was insane. But with the help of the community, okay, and law enforcement, They got together and they cleaned it up. And what we have now is where communities around the United States, that's what they got to start doing. Stop depending on the freaking Democrats to clean this up. They're the ones shoveling the garbage in your neighborhoods. They're not going to clean it up. And they know they're not going to clean it up. They're going to keep pointing fingers. They're going to keep contradicting themselves. They're going to keep flip-flopping. And then if they can bring another element into the mix to point the finger at, it'll definitely be at the rumors that are going on that the Hells Angels, the Mongols, and the Outlaws are going to save the day. And they'll spin that around like I said. Okay? Take all of this information with a grain of salt. Take it as you will, whatever it is. The one thing you can definitely depend on this whole video that I'm putting together is the contradiction from the mayor of Aurora. He said one thing in the beginning, 5 days ago, and then a couple of days ago, he changed his tune and said, yes, there are Venezuelan gang members that are taking rent money, okay, and pushing management out. That right there, out of all this, that you can pretty much take as the truth. Not what the tenants are going to say in a couple of hours, or what they said. Not that 1 minute they said that they're in trouble, then the next minute they're saying, no, we're not. You can't take none of that as truth, because they've already contradicted themselves. The one thing you can take the truth is that the mayor came out and said the truth when he said, yes, the Venezuelan gangs are collecting rent and they are pushing management out. That much you can take to the bank. That much you can take to the bank. Trust me. Okay? Because it sounds like he wants out, but somebody's in the background, just saying my opinion, somebody's in the background telling him otherwise. It's just the way I see it. Okay? Just the way I see it. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. And also, I'm leaving the links to my friend Josie's Gifts and Go campaign and Loza Alexander's GoFundMe campaign. So remember, people, stay vigilant. Keep praying for each other. Keep praying for the women and the children. Keep praying for this country. Pray for your enemies. Pray for Donald Trump. And don't forget to go out there and vote. Peace.